4 foods that are bad for your brain. Did you know it is estimated that dementia will affect more than 65 million people around the world by 2030? Stay tuned to find out how you can lower your risk of age-related diseases. Hey Hapthies, today's video will be all about perhaps the most important, yet also the most neglected organ in your body, the brain. Every other organ in your body relies on the brain to function properly. It helps keep your lungs breathing, your heart beating, and your digestive system working. Since it has such an essential role in sustaining life, it is of extreme importance to consume a diet that improves brain health. The modern diet is full of ingredients and substances which are detrimental to your overall cognitive health and may increase the risk of brain-related diseases such as Alzheimer's, dementia, and even conditions like depression and anxiety. Let's talk about some of the most common foods which are bad for your brain. Please stay tuned for a bonus fact at the end and subscribe to the channel if you learned something new. Foods that are high in trans fats. When consumed, unsaturated fats such as trans fats can cause significant problems for the well-being of your brain. Trans fats, which are found in dairy and animal products, are natural productions and are not too worrying for your health. The ones that are artificially produced industrially are another matter though. These are called hydrogenated vegetable oils, and consuming them can negatively impact your cognitive health. These artificial fats can be found in various commonly found packaged foods such as margarine, shortening, ready-made cakes and cookies, and frosting. Various studies have confirmed the fact that consuming an excessive amount of trans fats is directly linked with causing issues such as poor memory, Alzheimer's, and overall decline of cognitive abilities. In addition to being terrible for your brain, trans fats are also one of the worst foods for your heart health. They also contain several inflammatory compounds which are terrible for overall health. Most doctors recommend that it is a good idea to lower your intake of trans fats and increase your intake of unsaturated fats. This is because various studies have shown that unsaturated fats may help significantly improve your health. In one study observing the diet of 38 women, it was concluded that those who consumed more saturated fats relative to unsaturated fats had a higher risk of cognitive decline and performed much worse on memory tests. Cut out unhealthy packaged and processed foods and increase your intake of foods high in omega-3 acids such as salmon and chia seeds. Alcohol. While having a drink every once in a while may be a pleasant addition to your meal, the problem starts when you start consuming it excessively and your body ends up developing an alcohol dependency. When you consume a lot of the substance, your liver takes a beating, but the brain also starts to develop certain problems. Your ability to communicate properly is hindered as alcohol disrupts the neurotransmitters in your brain. You may also suffer from a reduction in brain volume and changes in your metabolism. One big side effect of chronic alcohol consumption is the deficiency of vitamin B1 in the body. Vitamin B1 is an essential nutrient for your brain, and a lack of it can increase the risk of a condition called Wernicke's encephalopathy. If left untreated, this condition can later turn into a disorder called Korsakoff syndrome. Korsakoff syndrome is a neurological disorder and is known to cause a significant amount of brain damage in addition to unsteadiness, confusion, and diminished eyesight. Even if you are not addicted to alcohol, drinking excessively even every once in a while has various negative effects on your health. When you binge drink, your brain is unable to properly interpret emotional cues. One example of this behavior is that drunk people usually have no sensitivity to sad faces and have increased sensitivity to angry people. These emotional changes are a result of chemical imbalance caused in the brain by alcohol and may be one of the biggest reasons for aggressive behavior when people are intoxicated. Additionally, the consumption of alcohol can have life-threatening effects on the health of a fetus. This is because the baby's brain is still not completely formed and is in early developmental stages. The toxins in alcohol can result in various disorders such as fetal alcohol syndrome. Foods rich in refined carbs. Some of the most common examples of refined carbohydrates, which are abundantly found in the modern diet, are highly processed grains such as white flour and sugar. Refined carbs such as sugar and white flour are known to have a very high glycemic index. Glycemic index is a scale that measures how fast certain products are digested by your body, which may cause your levels of insulin and blood sugar to spike significantly. These foods also have a high glycemic load. Having a high glycemic load means that the product increases your levels of blood sugar significantly, even when consumed in smaller portions. Things that are classified as having a high GI and GL have been linked with impairing brain function. The research concluded that consuming just one meal with a high glycemic load caused memory problems in both children and adults. Another observational study noted that in healthy university students, those who consumed excessive amounts of fat and refined sugar had much poorer memory compared to those who preferred a healthier diet. Scientists suggest that the consumption of such foods may cause inflammation in the hippocampus, a part of the brain which is responsible for memory and responding to cues of hunger and fullness. Inflammation is one of the biggest reasons for the development of age-related degenerative diseases of the brain such as dementia and Alzheimer's. This fact is supported by a study that found that elderly people who consumed up to 58% of their total caloric intake in the form of carbs had twice as a higher risk of developing dementia and other conditions which cause mental impairment. In kids, it was found that those who excessively consumed refined carbs scored lower on nonverbal intelligence tests compared to those who didn't. Processed foods. Foods that are highly processed and mass-produced are usually full of salt, sugar, added fats, and preservatives, and are detrimental to the health of your brain. These foods include products like instant noodles, chips, ready-made meals, and microwave popcorn. One defining characteristic of these foods is their lack of healthy nutrients and abundance of calories. These foods are one of the biggest causes of weight gain on the planet, which can lead to problems with brain health. In one study that observed the health of 243 people, it was found that those who had visceral fat, otherwise known as fat around the organs, also suffered from damage to their brain tissue. Another study of 130 people observed that even the early stages of a metabolic syndrome can cause a decrease in brain tissue. Processed foods in the Western world are made with a nutrition composition that has been linked with increasing the risk of degenerative diseases. A study of 52 people observing the effects of a diet full of unhealthy foods found that they had a severely diminished ability to metabolize sugar properly and a decrease in brain tissue as well. These two factors may contribute to the development of Alzheimer's in the later years. Another study of 18,080 people concluded that those who preferred a diet full of processed meats and fried foods had significantly lower scores on tests for memory and learning. Further studies continued the trend of proving that processed and packaged foods cause devastating effects on cognitive abilities. Another massive study concluded that people who had a diet rich in fried foods, baked beans, and processed meats suffered from higher levels of inflammation and risked a significantly faster decline in cognitive abilities over the next decade. Bonus fact: now that we have told you some of the things you should avoid if you want to improve brain health, we feel like it is important to tell you what you should replace these foods with as well. This is where today's bonus fact comes in. Let us discuss some of the healthiest foods you can consume which will boost your cognitive abilities and overall health. As mentioned before, fatty fish is an amazing option to boost your brain health and improve memory. These include fish like salmon, sardines, herring, and trout, among others. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for your brain as they help with the production of new nerves and brain cells. Omega-3 fatty acids have also been linked with improving your ability to learn and remember. If you are looking for a natural healthy snack to munch on, give blueberries a shot. They provide your body with massive health benefits, including your brain. They have potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidants properties, which can reduce the levels of oxidative stress and inflammation in your brain. This helps significantly lower your risk of developing age-related degenerative diseases such as dementia. Caring for your brain will ensure that your quality of life does not suffer in your later years. Most people neglect the organ and realize their mistake down the line, and by then it is usually too late. We hope today's video has emphasized how important it is to take care of your cognitive health. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos that will help improve your lifestyle. Have you ever suffered from a head injury? How did it affect your cognitive abilities? Please share your experience in the comments.